special guest today. Welcome to the replay, by the way. We're going to be bringing on Mike Gingerich today. And I'm going to bring him on. I'm going to let him introduce himself because that's always best, I've learned. And I'm going to bring him on the screen here. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Hi, Rob. Doing well. Glad to be here.
Very good, very good. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to try and bring you on here. And our screen is acting up. There you go. The beauty of live. Hey, Mike. Thanks for joining us. Mike, why don't you say just a few words about who you are, where you are, and what you do?
Yeah. All right. Hey, so glad to be here with everybody. I'm coming to you from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So kind of central Pennsylvania, a little bit west of Philadelphia. And I do a number of things. So I've got two main businesses. The big hat that I wear is president of Digital Hill. We are a web development and social media agency. And so kind of all things generating leads online and how you go about, finding, attracting that right audience and then building that know, like, trust relationship with them. Second thing I do is under Mike Gingerich Global, and that is speaking, writing. So I do get around, heading up to social media camp in Victoria in April, and then also a book, that I've put out is a game plan for social media lead generation. And again, that's some of the things I want to talk about today as well. That's a little bit about me. And the other unique thing is that I am a serious distance athlete. So I love distance running and half marathons. Did a marathon last October, also do triathlons. And so that's, I love to weave that in. If you go to my Instagram, that's a lot about what you'll see there is some of my things on health, fitness, and long distance running. So that's a little window, Rob.
Awesome. Yeah, good to have you here today. I'm really excited, and you're a very busy guy, so I appreciate your time. And so today we want to talk about digital marketing strategies that a lot of online course creators are kind of missing on, or some of the things that are coming up, some of the changes. And so I think you'd be the perfect guy because I know you've got your finger on the pulse on what's happening out there on social and internet marketing and the whole scene. So would love to kind of pass it off back to you and just kind of get your take on a couple of the big changes that are coming out just recently.
Yeah. So if I back it up and kind of talk from a big picture and think about it in terms of the funnel, you need to attract the right audience. That's at the top of the funnel. And the social media platforms are a great way to do that. So I'm going to spend most of my time talking about up there. How do you attract that right audience? Of course, then once you get them there, to get them to your site, get them to your course there. Maybe they're not ready to buy right away, but you need to be ready to somehow capture them so that you can follow up with that and nurture that. So we're talking about like a know, like, trust relationship. But first they have to know you. So that's back up the top of the funnel in the attraction arena. And again, social media is great for that. The key is that social media changes and you have to adapt with it. And so your methods are going to shift. Now, there's basically two primary ways using social media that you're going to be able to find people or attract the right audience. And the first one is through paid advertising. So you can use, Facebook ads, for instance, and Facebook ads has shifted into Instagram as well, that you can run them on that platform. You can do LinkedIn ads, Twitter ads, but one of my focus points that I see a lot of traction with is Facebook ads. And so that's one way to attract the right audience, because you can hone in on the right demographic, and you can narrow that down by region, by gender, by interest. I like to do some things with job titles and excluding certain audiences that way to really refine what you're doing. But you can target that, and so you target them not to buy right away, but to be aware of you, to be aware of you. And let's say you can get them over, to your course. You could also put in the Facebook retargeting pixel there so that then you can run another ad to them on Facebook. So the whole attraction thing is that you're finding the right people, and then they can know you, they can like you through content over time, they can begin to trust you through content over time. A recent thing that Facebook rolled out for those in the ads area is in the Facebook Ads Manager. So again, you can boost posts, which is right there in the news feed. You see the boost button. That's a simple thing. But to really hone in on that, you have to have some audiences set up. Typically, you're going to set up your audiences the best with the most options in the Ads Manager. You can save those as audiences and use them in your boost posts, later on. But I'm going back to the Ads Manager now and talking about this in bulk. They've rolled out a way to Ads Manager for Excel. So I don't know if a lot of you use spreadsheets, but it can be time consuming and tedious to run multiple ad campaigns, set them up, that type of thing. So they've allowed for a export import feature that uses an Excel spreadsheet. So that is just a nice advancement that I think is important for marketers to know. So again, you want to attract the right audience. You can do that by paid. You can do that by engagement. So engagement then is the other aspect where by people interacting, by them liking, by them commenting, by them following, some type of engagement, they are going to see more of your content in the future. So again, you think about Facebook's algorithm, Instagram has an algorithm, Twitter has an algorithm, that the more you get someone to interact with your content, they like it, they comment on it, they share it, the more that triggers the algorithm to say, hey, this person liked this, let's show them more content in the future. And so with that, you need to be using the methods that allow them to most easily engage with your content. So if I think that I go back through and I look at people's content, one of the things I do is like audits. And so a company will bring me in, or a client will bring me in to say, give me a map here, evaluate what I'm doing, and give me tips on what I should be doing, how I should change my focus. And a lot of what I see is they're not using some of the latest and greatest type pieces there. For example, video. And we're doing a Facebook Live video here, and we're live streaming it in multiple places. That's great, and the tools are there today to be able to do that without too much effort. So using video, using live video are ways, because you can run an ad on a video, you can run an ad on a Facebook video that a Facebook Live video that is posted to your newsfeed later on then. So if you want to, you can introduce a course, you can introduce content through video rather than just a text post or rather than just a image post, and that's going to get you some traction. Now I want to think about efficiencies. Think about, since Instagram allows you to do 1-minute videos in the newsfeed, you can do a 1-minute video that you could load and use on Instagram, that you could use on Facebook, that you could also use on Twitter. You could also use on LinkedIn. All right, so you could do one video, 4 places. If it's a minute, it'll fit on all of those, and you can introduce something that way. So I'm encouraging people to use video to talk about maybe their new blog post, or talk about their course or their offer, that type of thing, to give a tip, to give a resource, to give an introduction, instead of just doing that via a link post or via an image. Think about doing that with a video. All right. Now, some of the latest things that have happened with video are on Instagram and LinkedIn. So I've really seen LinkedIn making a leap forward in terms of their social media network. They're catching up, so to speak. They should have been there before. They haven't been, but now obviously you can load video to LinkedIn. Recognize that that's a place that you should load your videos to. Use your videos there. Maybe some people haven't been. The videos, they're just loading to YouTube. They should also be loading to LinkedIn. One of the latest things is that LinkedIn just rolled out LinkedIn Live. Now it's in beta only, sort of some certain users have it. It's not across the board everywhere, but it's coming. So just like we're doing this and, live streaming to YouTube and to Facebook, there will be the possibility to also do that on LinkedIn. So you need to know, where's my audience spending time? And is my target audience, the people that would be the best customers for me, Are they on Facebook? Are they on YouTube? Are they on LinkedIn? So that will help you. You have another platform where you might want to go live. You can do live on Instagram as well, I should say. So the key is, where's your audience at, and to utilize these new tools. So one of the things that I've seen is that people have been fearful to try to step out and use some of these new tools, and we need to make sure that we begin experimenting with them, all right? Because they're coming, they're not going away. They are getting the traction that you want, and it gives people that opportunity. If they're going to take a course from you, they want to know who they're taking a course from. They want to know, who is that person? Can I trust that person? Do I like that person? And that's going to help, set you apart in terms of the know, like, trust relationship, whether they choose you versus the other person that they see. And so think about video, where you should be spending time and experimenting with live video. LinkedIn is coming. That's going to be a new source for that. Also coming back to Instagram, I've seen a new feature. You've probably heard of IGTV, okay? And that's that television-esque feature in Instagram, a little television camera up in the top right, and when you're in the Instagram app, and you can do longer videos there. You can load videos, you can go live on videos, and those can be longer ones that reside there. It didn't have the traction that Instagram wanted, but they're not done with it, right? So what they have begun doing for videos that are longer than a minute, there's the opportunity for that to kind of pre-roll in the regular Instagram newsfeed. So you maybe have noticed this feature, but I want to point it out to you, and that is, so when you're in the Instagram app and you're going down through, there might be a video that auto plays in the newsfeed, and it'll play for a little bit, and then you'll be prompted, do you want to continue to watch this on IGTV? So that's a key feature. If you had written the IGTV off, don't do it, because Instagram is continuing to innovate that, and there's those tools like that. They're recognizing that video is critical to their future, and so you need to understand video is going to be critical to your online future, what we're doing online. And just like I'm talking here, there's going to be opportunities to talk on different platforms, and IGTV is going to be one of those. I like this new feature where they're doing that. They're rolling out the videos in the news feed, and you can begin watching them there. I've definitely done it. It's pulled me in. I've seen the video, I've kind of watched that. Again, sound typically is off to begin with. I've clicked on that, and then I get that, hey, do I want to continue and watch it? I click on that, I'm there. I'm spending some minutes watching these videos. So I think that's a key tool that has come, and just some things that we need to be aware of. We can't, Instagram started out photo sharing app, but it's evolved to much more than that, and we need to evolve with it. The other thing with Instagram, if you haven't been doing, is really taking a look at stories, Instagram stories. And the key is that people are watching more and more stories on Instagram, so much so that they are anticipating that the time spent watching stories in the Instagram app is close. It's on the threshold of surpassing the news feed, spending time in the news feed on Instagram. That's huge, because stories haven't been around very long. Again, stories is that, Snapchat-esque feature within Instagram. You can load an image. You can do up to 15-second videos. Typically, they last for 24 hours. Now, the other piece there is that you, as a Instagram business account, can go back and create highlights of your stories, and then those would be available on your profile for people to see down the pike. So that's another huge advantage. So again, be aware of stories, experiment with stories, and know that the content, yes, it does disappear, but if you make those stories highlights, then they can reside and last forever on your Instagram profile. So I think I'm going to pause there, and Rob, you tell me if you have any questions or things like that.
Yeah. Mike, thanks, man. I think that is pretty much 5 or 6 different sessions that we can dive into. So, I'd like to hear from everyone that's joining us live. Which ones, which of those platforms you guys want us to kind of dig into today? I think, Mike, we need to get you back on multiple times and talk about each one of those. But a lot of those are things that I would definitely back up as well. Videos, stories content. I was at a workshop that was held by one of the other companies here in Vancouver on social media marketing, what the trends are. And stories content is going to be huge. I mean, it is now. There's about 15x more stories content being created as we speak versus the feed content.
Yep.
And so that's where people are creating content. And then that's also where people are then engaging with content. So it's very important for brands, for entrepreneurs to get into stories content on Instagram and also on Facebook stories as well. So you also touched on LinkedIn videos. Again, LinkedIn Live is a thing that's happening now. You do have to go through Switcher Studio, which is a third-party app, I believe. A couple of friends have been going on there. I know Chris Strub has been going and doing lives already on LinkedIn. I think he's doing his second one today or right now as we speak. But yeah, so a lot of these are really good. I want to first thank also, I forgot to do this in the beginning, but I want to thank everyone that's joining us live on Facebook and also on YouTube. I'd love for you guys to hit the like button. Let us know where you guys are from and also what space you guys are in. What's your niche? So we can kind of maybe massage this talk that's more geared to you and your space. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. We have Mike here. As you can tell, he knows a lot about a lot of things on social and digital marketing. So, hey, Skip Johnson, good to have you here. Also just going to quickly drop into YouTube. We have Arthur and we have Detlev as well. So awesome. Good to have you guys here. Hit that like button. Feel free to share this so that we can get the message out to as many people as possible. Skip is asking about Facebook. So, Facebook, there's so much. There's videos, there's events, there's live streaming on Facebook. You're talking about Facebook ads as well, which, for all parts of the customer journey. I think that's fantastic. So touch on Facebook and how you're kind of seeing Facebook being used more in 2019. Given that it is very popular, ads are really expensive, so people are migrating into other platforms to run ads. But it's still a very viable platform. What's your thoughts on Facebook for 2019?
Yeah. Again, it does come back to who your ideal target audience is. And so knowing where they are spending time. Now, Facebook continues to have the broadest demographic reach. So, it goes down into the, early 20s up. And it's the only one that's really cracked that kind of like 60 plus bracket of social media users. So you have to think about who you're trying to reach within that journey and where they're spending time. But generally, you're going to find a lot of your target audience is on Facebook. Even if your target audience is a little younger, maybe spending more time on Instagram, that's where Facebook's still valuable just because of the ads manager, allowing you to set up specific demographic targeting in the Facebook ads manager to run ads on Instagram. More advanced than what you can do just using the promote button in the Instagram ads feature itself on the app. So I think Facebook is evolving now. Again, this is breaking news. Was what yesterday was Mark Zuckerberg began to talk about their focus as well on private messaging. All right, and secure private messaging. So think about what they're doing with WhatsApp, and it's owned by Facebook, and it's an encrypted service, and then kind of bridging these platforms together so you could private message in an encrypted format someone from WhatsApp to Facebook Messenger to Instagram direct messaging, and they would be integrated. So Facebook's going to put an emphasis on that. Again, trying to give people another method to stay in touch. But I think that, with private messaging, what we've seen is that you've been able to private message with a brand, a company page, and then there's the API that's been rolled out to do, chatbot, kind of automate some of that prospective customer journey, using a setup of a bot to kind of begin answering basic questions to give someone attention right away, right when they're there. So Facebook's innovating and Facebook's not going away. I think that you need to get away from just posting links and just posting photos. But I've got a few clients, I think ones that I'm working with, that we're seeing traction. We're seeing engagement. Their demographic, their target audience is on Facebook. We're posting photos, we're posting videos, particularly are seeing high engagement. When those are performing well, like I get a little video clip, and if people are liking that, interacting with it, putting comments on that, I will usually put fuel to the fire on that and then run that as an ad. I will boost that to one of my targeted saved audiences that I've saved before, that is more of my ideal audience, based on what that video is. So I watch for what's performing in some of my organic, and then I run an ad on that to take it to the next level. So lots of things happening with Facebook. It's not going away. Be aware of the chatbot potentials for your page. If you want to set up that kind of a sequence to immediately greet and get to know that customer, answer some of their basic questions right away so that they can be cared for. Think about little videos, think about engaging content, and then think about maybe I've seen the power of groups too. I didn't even go into groups. So there's a lot of tools there, because once you have a customer and they become loyal, it might be time to move them also into a group where they can get some more group individualized special attention there. And so there's more loyalty. They stay with you. So lots of things that we could go into with Facebook. Don't see it going away. See it evolving. You need to stay up with it on what those evolutions are.
Awesome.
Rob, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I like that. I think you touched on chats and direct messaging. Again, that's a big thing that's happening right now. Facebook's come out and basically admitted that that's going to be an algorithm that they're going to be paying attention to. So if me and Mike are engaging in direct messages, private messages inside of Facebook or Instagram, I'm going to see a lot more of Mike's post, and Mike's going to see a lot more of my post. It's just our posts are going to get reach on each other's feeds a lot more. Just because then Facebook understands and kind of sees our direct messages as an indicator that we are interested in each other's content. So a lot of people from last year, with Cambridge Analytica and all that stuff, about this, Mike, people retreated back into smaller groups and communities, and that's why Facebook groups is a big thing. So Jessica, who is our mutual friend, talks a lot about relationship marketing. I think that's going to be a key 2019, especially on Facebook. So Mike, we've got a question here. Hey, Karen, good to have you here, coming in from Facebook Live. Karen had a question about how to monetize a group. Do you have any thoughts on that, Mike, on how to monetize a group? Maybe not directly, but maybe indirectly, by maybe promoting courses or coaching or other products. Karen, maybe let us know what products you have. Do you have digital products, physical products, coaching, consulting? Let us know what you have there.
Yeah, where I've seen the monetization happen in Facebook groups is often with some type of a loyalty. So you need to be, think about it in Gary Vaynerchuk's terms with his book, jab, 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 right hook. So the jabs are offering value. If you have a Facebook group that's a community, you need to be active in there. You need to be offering time. You need to be offering resources and offering value. And then, maybe through the piece of that, there's a higher level of value that you offer, and that's the course, that's the next step, that's the book, that's whatever those pieces are. Saw this done real well recently with Andrea Ball. So she is a Facebook ads expert, and she rolled out a book, and then she talked about a course that she was going to be offering, but she gave away kind of like and created a Facebook group for an initial free version of the course. And so basically you got into the group, and she's giving away content. You can interact with group members about things about Facebook ads. And then over the course of time, she let you know, hey, there's going to be the full-blown course, the more advanced one here that you can take the next step into. So it was kind of like the buyer's journey. We got content, we got questions answered, we got to learn, and then it could whet the appetite. Say, do you want more? Go here. So that's a key way I've seen it monetize, is kind of that progression. It's a piece of that. Again, make it simple, know, like, trust. Okay. So, first she got the right people into that group, and then it was like, can they get to know her? Do they like her? She was posting videos in there. She was posting resources. Did they trust her through those things? Is that, legitimate stuff? What are other people saying? And then she offered the course through that. So that's one example. I've seen, others who it's a loyalty journey. So somebody's bought something, and then they move into this community, and that's where the questions are answered. And then over the course of time, when something else new comes out, or there's another resource, that can be shared in that group. But again, it can't just be all about sell, sell, sell. It has to be about value, value, value. And here's another opportunity.
No, I like that. Mike, you hit it right there. It is very much bringing value, Karen. So I think, groups are meant to be like, we have a Facebook group, obviously, we have the Thinkific studio inside of Facebook, and we don't do very much promotion in there. It's not a place for us to get new users or anything. It's a community. It's kind of like a place where people can ask questions and share ideas and that sort of thing. And our team will show up, and every now and then we'll invite people to a free training or a workshop, but it's free. It's not something where we're like, hey, go buy, an annual plan or something like that. So there's been a lot of really good groups. Mark Mawini, Karen, I put his name in there, and so you can look him up. Coaching Jungle is his group. I understand you're a coach and you have courses and things like that. So he's done it really well, where he's structured his group and his content every day, and he's always just bringing value. But he really does a nice blend of where he is also promoting himself. It's not something he's hiding. He is promoting himself, and he's promoting his products. So check him out. He's really good. Awesome. Mike, thanks so much for that answer. I'm just going to dive into YouTube here, and there is a question from Detlev on curious on everything LinkedIn video. My guess is LinkedIn users is more likely to invest in high ticket items versus Facebook or YouTube, and often consume for curiosity or entertainment. What are your thoughts on LinkedIn? Mike, what do you think about LinkedIn this year with all the changes they're going after?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a platform that you must take notice of. I think it is a little bit, I mean, it is always been kind of the business social media network. And so a little bit less social, a little bit more on the business end. And these new tools are offering individuals a way to grow their awareness, their profile, their authority on LinkedIn. So it's giving you an opportunity for people who are business-minded, who are serious about operating, growing in their business. They're spending time on LinkedIn. So the tools are getting more people to spend more time there because there's richer content there. The other thing is that LinkedIn did not have like the backup of so much competition that Facebook had. So with Facebook, so many people, so many pages, everybody was there. LinkedIn didn't quite have that. And so by getting into some of these, can you be an early adopter in some of those pieces and utilize some of the opportunity to get in front of people and utilize people seeing that content, engaging with that, triggering the LinkedIn algorithm to show that to more people so that you're attracting more of the right audience. So yeah, I'm definitely spending more time on LinkedIn than I did a year ago. Definitely feel like they are doing some right things and giving some new tools. And It is there. If your audience is there, there's great opportunity on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I agree. Mike, I think I agree with you as well. It's I'm looking at Mike over here because this is where my screen is and the camera's here. But yeah, no, Mike, yeah, I think LinkedIn is making some really big strides with, LinkedIn Live happening. They've got videos. The algorithms, from my experience, Mike, maybe you can agree or disagree, but the algorithms on LinkedIn is a lot more organic, I find. Like if you post something and someone likes it, their audience is going to see that they liked your post, and then now you're going to be exposed to their audience. It's kind of like what Facebook was maybe like a year and a half or 2 years ago, where it wasn't where it wasn't so much pay to play. So I like LinkedIn a lot for that reason. It's probably going to change as more people migrate, and there's only a limited amount of feed space. So yeah, but I think if you guys are creating content, definitely look at LinkedIn and repurpose your content there, or create content specifically for LinkedIn. It's a great platform. It's no longer a resume or recruiting site anymore. It's definitely a full-blown social media platform. So yeah, no, that's great. Mike, I am just going to go through here again and just see if there's any other questions. Detlef was saying he likes what Steve Dotto does. Steve Dotto is great. He's a good friend of ours. I think, Mike, you're going to hang out with Steve Dotto in Victoria at Social Media Camp.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we're looking for that selfie of you two on Instagram. Great. Mike, is there any other tips that you want to share, with our audience as we kind of wrap up here when it comes to digital marketing? I know it's a huge topic, but anything that you kind of see as an opportunity for, people that are creating courses?
I think that you touched on it, and I just want to come back to that. And that is, you talked about like this little window now on LinkedIn, and that's what it's about in social media is staying current with it, so that you see where those opportunities are, and then taking advantage of that opportunity. So with LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Video, with LinkedIn Live, with a little less competition, that's a window. As Rob said, it won't always be there. There will be more competition. More people will come, and so we have to adapt and use those pieces. LinkedIn, or with Instagram, with stories, we talked about the growth of that, and so that's a window in time when you can't just think this is what you do on Instagram. You have to think this is what works on Instagram now. This is what works on LinkedIn now, and do those pieces. So it's about understanding, staying current with the windows that each platform has that's effective, and gearing some of your content, what you do within those open doors.
Mike, sorry, I know we were going to wrap up, but I have one more question here from Marlene before we kind of close it down. Marlene Jones says, I teach guitar, but really haven't gotten launched because of not knowing how to do ads. I'm assuming on Facebook is where you're looking. The course is almost done. Should I make a short video with a graphical link, or assign to the Thinkific page, or will a photo do the same thing? What are your thoughts on that? I have kind of an opinion, but what are your thoughts? Video versus image for an ad?
I think probably you need to do both and do a little bit of A/B testing there. And so I think that I would probably encourage you to do one of each, do a little split test, and run that and see which begins performing better, see which one begins capturing the audience. I'm gonna guess that if the video is short, sweet, to the point, and done right, that could be the one that really does it. But I don't want to rule out the photo if that's done well. And so that's why I'm going to recommend that you do both and just run them each for 3 to 5 days, and then take a look at the data.
Yeah, I agree. A/B test, Marlene. So A/B test, I've seen some really, well-performing ads with images because they're just so engaging and they stop people from scrolling. Some videos are really good as well. So it just really comes down to it and A/B test. So test out both and see how, you know, which one performed better, and then double down on that. Make tweaks as you go. That's really everything on social. Hey, Mike, you know, just
tweak. Yeah.
yeah, right. Exactly. Mike, before we wrap up here, where can people connect with you? Where can they find you online? I know you're on Instagram, but yeah, where can people find you?
Yeah. I'll just give my website, MikeGingerich.com. And if you go to the blog there, one of the things that I love to do is twice a month I come out with, and you can sign up for my blog to get that via email. All my social stuff that you can find there through my website as well. But twice a month, I put out these kind of updates. So I love to kind of keep people current on the latest in the social media trends and some of the latest in what's happening with tools that can help you maximize those. So MikeGingerich.com, and you can click on that blog there. That's where you can find my social links, but you'll get an opportunity there to sign up to receive it via email. And that's probably the best way. That's the resource that I'd recommend to you, that you want to stay current. I try to help you do that.
Thank you so much. Everyone that watches live or on the replay, thank you. And also, we're really taking a hard look at our live streams on Facebook and YouTube. And we'd love to get your feedback as to what kind of content you guys would like to see. Do you guys like the interviews? Do you guys like the tutorials? Ask us anything sessions. You know, what would you guys like to see? So let us know. We are open ears to you know, what would bring you the most value with these live streams. So let us know. Leave us a comment, email us. But yeah, I think probably leave us a comment would be the best so we can see it. But if you want, you can also email us. Mike, thank you so much. I'm going to put all your links in both YouTube and Facebook in the comments, and they can connect with you, connect with Mike, everyone. And we'll see you guys in the next live. Thanks a lot.
Wonderful. Good to be here.
Thanks, Mike.